Hello and welcome back to our channel. Hope you all are doing well. Let us continue with the topic on hire purchase, wherein we will be taking some miscellaneous problems. This is the last part of this chapter, which requires a little different concept. So without wasting further time, let's get right into it. Earlier, we have studied that if you want to calculate HP price when cash price is given, or you want to calculate cash price when HP price is given, what we do is prepare a simple table either in the straight form or in the reverse manner depending on what information we need. If you need to find HP price when cash price is given, a table in the following manner is prepared, wherein balance outstanding at the beginning is first and then we move right up to calculation of balance outstanding at the end. What you get is, if you add up all the installments, you will get the HP price. The reverse of this is, when you want to calculate cash price when HP price is given, then a table in this manner will be prepared, wherein balance outstanding at the end is your starting point and you move up to calculation of balance outstanding at the beginning of installment number 0, and that gives you the cash price of the asset. For all of these calculations, one important thing is required, and that is the rate of interest. Without the rate of interest, these calculations would not have been possible. However, in certain questions, interest rate is missing and yet they ask us to calculate interest included in each installment. Now, is this possible? Yes, there is one way we can calculate the interest included in each installment when the interest rate is not given. So let us have a look how that will be done. When interest rate is not given and interest included in each installment is to be found out, then total interest is apportioned in the ratio of amount outstanding each year. Important point to note is total interest is to be apportioned in the ratio of amount outstanding for each year. This is logical because interest is calculated on what? Interest is always calculated on balance outstanding in that particular year. So even if we don't have the rate of interest, we can get total interest of the hire purchase transaction, and that will be got by the hire purchase formula itself. So in lecture 1, we had studied HP price. The formula for HP price is equal to cash price plus interest. Cash price plus total interest gives us the HP price of an asset. So therefore, from this formula itself, total interest will be nothing but HP price minus the cash price. HP price minus cash price will give us the total interest, and this total interest will have to be divided in the ratio of amount outstanding in each particular year. Let us take a simple example to understand how this concept works. Let's take question number 7. A Limited purchases a plant on hire purchase basis for rupees 1 lakh and makes the payment in the following manner. Down payment is equal to rupees 20,000. First installment after 1 year is rupees 40,000. Second installment after 2 years is rupees 20,000. And last installment after 3 years. The cash price of the plant is rupees 86,000. Calculate total interest and interest included in each installment. So if you read question number 7 carefully, you will realize that interest rate is not given here. Interest rate is missing. So what we will have to do is apply this new concept that we have studied, that total interest should be divided in the ratio of amount outstanding in each year. Can we get total interest from the given information? Yes. Total interest is equal to HP price minus cash price. HP price was given in the first line, that is rupees 1 lakh. Cash price is there in the last line, 86,000. If you deduct, you will get the total interest on the HP agreement. Let us first start by calculating the total interest. Question number 7, calculation of total interest is part A, and interest included in each installment will be part B. So let us finish part A, that is total interest is equal to HP price minus cash price. That was 1 lakh minus 86,000, and the total interest during the term of the contract is rupees 14,000. Now this 14,000 is included in 3 installments, installment number 1, 2 and 3. How do we apportion this total 14,000 in 3 installments? What we will do is prepare a simple table in the following manner, wherein you have year, balance outstanding, ratio and the interest. Now there are 3 installments, 1, 2 and 3. What we need to do is get the balance outstanding at the stage of these 3 installments. Total HP price, total price of the asset to be paid is rupees 1 lakh in the beginning. But interest will not be on this total 1 lakh, because out of this we have already made a down payment of rupees 20,000. So if we deduct 20,000, the balance outstanding remaining to be paid will come to rupees 80,000, on which interest will be calculated. But we don't have the rate of interest. So let us only calculate balance outstanding as of now. In year 2, what will happen is, out of this 80,000, the first installment would have been paid. What is the amount of first installment? If we go back to the question, first installment after year 1 is rupees 40,000. So if we deduct 40,000, we will get balance outstanding at the time of installment number 2, and that is 40,000 rupees. And similarly, at the time of installment number 3, this 40,000 minus, we have made another installment payment after 2 years, that is rupees 20,000. So if we pay 20,000, the balance outstanding amount that is left is rupees 20,000. Now we have balance outstanding for each installment, installment number 1, 2 and 3. This 14,000, that is our total interest, will be divided in the ratio of balance outstanding, which means it will be 80,000 is to 40,000 as to 20,000. That is nothing but 8 is to 4 is to 2. So if you want the ratio, it will be 8 by 14, 4 by 14 and 2 by 14. So taking the total interest of 14,000 for year number 1, it will be 14,000 into 8 by 14, and that comes to 8,000 rupees. For year 2, 14,000 into 4 by 14, that is 4,000 rupees. And finally 14,000 into 2 by 14, we have 2,000 rupees interest. So even though rate of interest was missing, we could calculate interest included in each installment by the principle that total interest should be divided in the ratio of balance outstanding in each year. Now it is not a very correct way of calculating the interest, but because we don't have the interest rate, we are doing this working that interest should be apportioned in the ratio of balance outstanding. Let's take one more similar sum to see how to calculate interest included in each installment. Let's take question number 8. Mr. X purchased a machine on hire purchase. He made cash payment of rupees 30,000 and the balance was payable in 5 annual installments of rupees 60,000 each. The cash price of the machine is rupees 3 lakhs. Assume that the purchase was made on 1st April and the annual installments are payable on 31st March every year. Calculate the amount of interest for each year. Again, if you read question number 8, there is no interest rate, but applying the concept that we have learned, we can apportion the total interest in the ratio of balance outstanding each year. Now the question is, how do we calculate total interest? We know that total interest is HP price minus cash price. Cash price is given in the problem, that is rupees 3 lakhs. Cash price of the machine is 3 lakhs. HP price we will have to find out because it is not directly given. But we know that HP price is equal to down payment plus the total installments. Down payment plus total installments will give us the HP price. Down payment is given in the question, and that is rupees 30,000. Cash payment of 30,000 was made initially, that is the down payment. Plus installments. There are 5 annual installments of rupees 60,000 each. So if I add up all of them, 5 into 60,000, that is the total of the installments, we will get the HP price, that is 30,000 plus 3 lakhs, that is 3,30,000 rupees. Total HP price. Now we have the HP price as well as the cash price. We can get total interest. So let's first calculate total interest. HP price minus cash price, that was 3,30,000 minus 3 lakhs. Total interest is 30,000 rupees, which we have to now divide in the ratio of balance outstanding. So what we will do is, for the 5 installments, let us get balance outstanding each year. There are 5 installments. First installment, at that time balance outstanding is rupees 3 lakhs. And how has this 3 lakhs come? It is the total HP price, 3,30,000, which was to be paid. But out of this 3,30,000, we have already made a down payment of rupees 30,000. So at the time of installment number 1, 3 lakhs is outstanding. Then moving further, out of this 3 lakhs, the first installment of 60,000 rupees was paid. First installment of 60,000 was paid, and therefore we get the balance outstanding as 2,40,000. Similarly, going further, 2,40,000, again another installment of rupees 60,000 was paid. Balance outstanding is 1,80,000 rupees. Then 1,80,000 minus another installment of 60,000, we have balance outstanding as 1,20,000. And finally 1,20,000 minus another installment of 60,000, and that comes to 60,000 outstanding. So at the time of the 5 installments, we have got balance outstanding in each year. What we will do is take the total interest of rupees 30,000 and divide it in the ratio of 3 lakhs is to 2,40,000 is to 1,80,000 is to 1,20,000 is to 60,000. That is the ratio of balance outstanding. So if you simplify that, it is nothing but in the ratio of 5:4:3:2:1. Taking the total, that is 15. For year number 1, what will be the interest apportioned there? It will be 30,000 rupees into 5/15. For year 1, 30,000 into 5/15 will give us 10,000 rupees interest for year 1. Continuing further, for year 2, it will be 30,000 into 4/15, 30,000 into 3/15 for year 3, 30,000 into 2/15 for year 4, and finally 30,000 into 1/15 for year 5. So there we have interest for each year: 10,000, 8,000, 6,000, 4,000, and finally 2,000 rupees. So total interest of 30,000 has been apportioned over the life of the contract in the ratio of balance outstanding. This is also logical because if you see the interest, it is keeping on reducing, because after payment of each installment, the balance outstanding keeps reducing. Therefore, interest also should be reducing. So although we don't have the interest rate, we could apportion the total interest during the life of the contract for each particular year using balance outstanding as the base. This was one concept wherein when interest rate is missing, how do we apportion interest in each year? Now let's take another question wherein we use a little maths to solve the problem. Let's come to question number 19 and we'll take part B. Question number 19, part B. Let us first read the question and get all the details. On 1st April 2014, Beta Limited purchased a machine from Yama Limited on hire purchase basis. The terms of agreement provided for 40% as cash down payment and the balance in 3 installments of rupees 1,30,000 on 31st December 14, rupees 1,42,000 on 31st December 2016 and 1,10,000 on 31st December 2017. The rate of interest charged by the vendor is 10% per annum, compounded annually. You are required to calculate the cash price when second installment is payable after 2 years. Now remember, we are asked to calculate cash price. So we will have to prepare a table in the reverse manner, because we will be moving from HP price to cash price. One thing that is missing is the down payment. It is only given that 40% is the cash down payment, but we don't have that value in terms of numbers. So what we will do is prepare our regular table in the reverse manner, and whatever available details are there, first we will put that into the table and see what is missing. Now on reading the question, we have seen that second installment is payable after 2 years. So if you see, the first installment was paid on 31st December 2014 and the next one was directly on 31st December 2016 after 2 years. But what we will do is prepare the table first in the reverse manner, since we are calculating cash price, and then see what details are missing. Starting with the last installment, that is installment number 3. Balance outstanding at the end should be nil after the end of the contract. Installment amount, now reading the problem, installment number 3 was rupees 1,10,000. Therefore, adding up the two, cumulative amount becomes 1,10,000. To calculate the interest, we will have to do the reverse working, because this cumulative amount already includes interest. What we need to do is extract the interest. Therefore, 1,10,000 into 10 divided by 110 will be the operation, and what we get is 10,000 rupees interest. And therefore, principal amount outstanding, if we deduct 10,000, we get 1 lakh rupees outstanding. Now this installment number 3 was of the year 2017. Then moving further, installment number 2, which will be for the year 2016. Balance outstanding at the end will be that 1 lakh rupees. Second installment was rupees 1,42,000. Therefore, adding up the two, we get cumulative amount as 2,42,000 rupees. Let us extract the interest from there. It will be 2,42,000 into 10 divided by 110, and that comes to 22,000 rupees. So deducting the interest to get the principal amount, we have 242 minus 22, and that comes to 2,20,000 rupees. This was installment number 2. However, installment number 1 and installment number 2 has a gap of 2 years in between. So therefore, after installment number 2, there is no installment number 1 directly. There is a gap of 1 year, and that year is 2015, wherein no installment was paid. However, even though installment is not paid, interest will still be calculated in that year. So continuing the table, balance outstanding at the end will be 2,20,000 rupees. Installment will be nil, because in 2015 there was no installment paid. Therefore, cumulative amount will still remain 2,20,000 rupees. Calculating the interest there, 2,20,000 into 10 by 110 will give us the interest component, and that comes to 20,000 rupees. And therefore, if we deduct the interest, we get the principal component, and that is 2 lakh rupees balance outstanding at the beginning of that year, that is 2015. Then moving towards the installment number 1, which was in 2014. The balance outstanding at the beginning will be brought here as balance outstanding at the end, 2 lakh rupees. In 2014, the installment paid was 1,30,000 rupees, and therefore the cumulative amount has become 3,30,000 rupees. Calculating the interest included there, it will be 3,30,000 into 10 divided by 110, and that comes to 30,000 rupees. Deducting, we have the principal amount outstanding at the beginning as 3 lakh rupees. Moving towards installment number 0, this 3 lakh rupees will be balance outstanding at the end. Installment, in year 0, we have down payment as the installment. However, down payment is not given here. So as of now, we will just write it as DP, down payment, because we don't know the value. Therefore, cumulative amount 3 lakh plus DP will be the cumulative amount, and that is 3 lakh plus DP. There is no interest in down payment, so interest will be nil, and balance outstanding at the beginning of installment number 0 is nothing but the cash price, and that is missing. That is what they have asked us to calculate. That is the cash price of the asset. Now if you see, cash price is missing and down payment also is missing, but they have given us a relation between the two, and that down payment is 40%. So what we will do is prepare a separate note and form an equation to calculate the cash price of the asset. So let's assume cash price to be X, because we have to find out the cash price. Let cash price be X. In the question it is given that down payment is 40%. So therefore down payment will be 40% of X, which is nothing but 0.4x. 0.4x. Now from the table, to calculate cash price, remember, we add up the cumulative amount and interest. So here interest is nil. So 3 lakh plus DP plus nil gives us the cash price. We have done this in the previous lectures also, but here we are forming an equation because down payment also is missing and cash price is to be found out. So forming the equation there, 3 lakh plus DP will be the cash price of the asset. From the table we have 3 lakh plus DP is equal to the cash price. Substituting the values that we have got here now, 3 lakh plus down payment we have here is 0.4x plus 0.4x is equal to cash price, which we have assumed to be X. Therefore 3 lakhs is equal to 0.6x. X minus 0.4x is equal to 0.6x, and therefore X is equal to 3 lakhs divided by 0.6, and that is, on the calculator, 3 lakh divided by 0.6, that comes to 5 lakh rupees. And X was our cash price, therefore we have found out cash price is equal to rupees 5 lakhs. So here we formed an equation because two things were missing, that is cash price was to be found out, but down payment also was missing. However, the question had given us a relation between the two, and that down payment was 40% of the cash price. So what we know, we have already put in the table, and whatever was the missing figure, we formed an equation and got the answer. So that was the entire solution for question number 19, part B. If you have found this video useful, please like and share this video, as well as subscribe to our channel. If you have any doubts or queries, please call on any of these two numbers. Thank you.